Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at this video and then inshallah I'll make some comments.
But first thing I want to tell you guys is I promise you that Tate is too rich and too smart to do anything illegal. He's been too rich and too smart to do anything illegal for a very, very long time. As long as I've lived with him, I've never seen him do anything illegal at all in any way, shape, or form. Tate also, because he's foreseen of things, he always knew that this would happen. He's told you guys this would happen. He has many interview clips where he said this would happen. It's a three-life process when you're someone that that let's say the Matrix or the mainstream news or the people in charge do not like you. It's a three-step process. First, they try and cancel you. So they tried to cancel Tate. They really did. Unfortunately for them, they failed. So they failed on that end. So if they fail on canceling you, what's the next move? Well, the next move is jail. And by the way, you can see this playbook. They do this playbook with Julian Assange. They do it with credible people. It's what they do. First, they try and discredit you and cancel you, so no one listens to you. If people keep listening to you, then they have to try and discredit you further and try and put you in jail. That's the next move. And that's what the Matrix has done. The Matrix is now trying to put Andrew in jail. It's completely bogus charges, but unfortunately, Romania is, you guys can look this up, is known for corruption, and unfortunately, corruption also works to where if the mainstream and the Matrix wants you, they can find a corrupt judge to sign a bullshit paper to get your house raided.
Now, let me tell you this thing, dear brothers and sisters. I said this without doing any research on this country, Romania. What I said is that this country is one of the most corrupted countries in the whole world. And this is exactly why they chose Romania. Because Andrew, he has connection with Romania. He goes there. They chose this country, the cops, the corrupt cops, to capture him in order to make a forced confession. If you hear him saying something that he did not do, that we believe he did not do, and at the same time, if you see him looking very frail, very weak, his whole demeanor, his whole body language, if that is something noticeable and that has changed dramatically, then you know that these cops, these corrupt police officers, they try to torture him, try to make a forced confession. And this is exactly where they're heading to. And I said this before. The people, the Matrix that he calls Matrix, and I call them, I mean, you can also call them the Illuminati. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about the secret group in the Quran when he said, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. Now, I'm not going to be using this verse to the situation of Andrew Tate. I'm just saying that in general, there is a group that is continuously, consistently planning, plotting against Allah Azza wa Jal, his righteous slaves. When you hear Andrew Tate coming out making that kind of confession and you see that something has changed about him in terms of his appearance, then you know without a shadow of a doubt that he was forced to confess. He would not, as this guy, he's narrating in the video, he said that he will not, Andrew Tate will not do something so stupid for which he'll be captured. Even what is so bizarre and very, very jarring at the same time, to be honest, which is that he, Andrew Tate, the way they found him is through him. Can you imagine? He was tweeting or he was writing something or calling, I don't know, but they tracked him because of what he was doing on internet. What kind of a stupid person would do that? Andrew Tate is not stupid. And by all means, I'm not here to say Andrew Tate is innocent. I'm not saying that at all. There might be something, I do not know. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that we need to have a fair trial, which is not going to be possible in Romania. And this is why it should worry all of us. We have seen this happen in the past when the Muslim brothers, they were taken to prisons like Abu Ghraib in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they were not given a fair trial. If he is guilty, if Andrew Tate is guilty, by all means. But I don't personally believe that they will do a fair trial to find him guilty or innocent, because already, right now, as I speak to you, we already know the reason he was apprehended was because of something suspicious. They did not find any evidence, they did not find any proof, nothing. And so it gives this impression to us that this is going to be a sham trial, and that, subhanallah, I mean, he's going to be facing jail term. And for how many years, we do not know.
And that's really what it is. It's one judge signs one paper, and now your house gets raided, and then you get, and that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So, obviously that's all in the news now, because that's what it takes to discredit, right? Just the house raid alone is massively discrediting. Julian Assange, right? I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the WikiLeaks guy who reported a bunch of news that the US government didn't want to get reported. Then one day, out of nowhere, some Swedish girl said that he raped her. And there's no evidence at all that that happened ever. And I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped and it never even went to court. But by then he ran away and hid in exile in some embassy. He was in that embassy forever. Then they dropped those charges, and then they added on some new charges about something about leaking sensitive information, like it's a sort of terrorist thing. So anyway, that's the playbook they played on Assange. Step 2 done. Will they attempt step 3? Because step 3 is, if they can't cancel you, and if they can't put you in jail, or if jail doesn't ruin your influence, the next thing they do is they kill you. They Epstein you. And Andrew's clearly said on multiple podcasts he will never kill himself. Andrew knew that this would happen eventually. It was always a possibility.
Okay, so let me explain to you a little bit about Jeffrey Epstein, if you do not know him, or if you do not know Andrew, Prince Andrew. Jeffrey Epstein was the guy who was, I think he was convicted of sex trafficking, something like that. And Andrew is the prince from the British royal family. So Andrew said, Jeff, he would not take his own life. That's not him. But we have seen that's exactly what has happened. Even though, yes, Jeffrey Epstein, he was convicted, and I do personally believe that he is guilty of horrendous crime. There's no doubt about that. But the point here is that he would not take his life. And Andrew, being a good friend of Jeffrey Epstein, he testified that multiple times that he will not take his life. So who took his life? Most likely the Matrix. That's what he called. You can call them Illuminati, as I said, or whatever you want, Freemason, because there is a secret group. There is something that is working behind the scene that we do not know. And again, as I said in the beginning, the Quran mentioned this kind of group that they will come and plot against the Muslims, against the righteous slaves. So dear brothers and sisters, this is the fact. This is what is happening right now. Andrew Tate is being apprehended. He's been captured. He is now in jail. I do not know his current situation, but his cousin, he spoke out, and his cousin made it absolutely clear that Andrew would not be stupid enough. He's not stupid at all to do this kind of thing and get caught. Now, I have a few comments. I have one comment from a lady. Please do not try to add her on Facebook. She's on Facebook. And basically, she basically said that Andrew bragged about his cars to a 19-year-old girl, and the next day he lost them all. Okay, so she is accusing Andrew. She's a Muslim. She's a convert. SubhanAllah, she's a new Muslim. And this is exactly what she is saying. Andrew Tate, and then he forced women to do sex cam with his brother for years. To say he is arrested because he is now a Muslim is disgrace to all victims. He did what he did, not a Muslim. He is not charged because he is a Muslim. He is now arrested for trafficking and money laundering. And as long as he knows who he is, there is no need for him to go on any TV interview saying Assalamu alaikum to everyone. So this is the understanding, this is the impression they have about Andrew Tate. And these, unfortunately, a lot of the time are the Western liberal Muslim feminists. Because Andrew spoke against this feminist, a lot of the time they lash out at him and they try to assassinate his character. And this lady did Subhanallah, I like this girl, sister. She's mashallah very good. But what she said about Andrew Tate, I don't agree with that. We need to do more investigation. The reason I do not agree with all of these allegations against Andrew Tate is one and one reason only. Look, since the Me Too movement started, if you know what is Me Too, basically women is speaking out against violence, sexual violence. A lot of these cases are coming forward. Men are getting exposed. I mean, you can just go on any TV, or even if you go on YouTube and make a video and say, oh, this guy, he abused me, you'll be going viral. Andrew Tate and this lady and many other sisters, Muslim sisters, like a feminist, they accuse him of doing this kind of abusing of a girl and woman for many, many years, and his brother. Why they did not come on the media? Never at all. Even, when he converted, some people could have spoken out that, you know what, this is exactly who he is. Nothing. On top of that, we know a lot of women at the same time, Muslim, non-Muslim, I don't think they're Muslim, most of them are non-Muslim, they said that Andrew Tate was actually very nice to them. He treated them with compassion and with a lot of respect. So I do not know where it is coming from, but subhanallah, we're living at the end of time and we are seeing all of these things unfolding in front of our eyes. What we can do at least is make dua for him and hope that inshallah Allah will send help for Andrew Tate and people like him who are being oppressed. Assalamu alaikum.